Hello,
Yo,
everybody.
yo, 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 yo.
Welcome to Worcester Council Theater 3000. I am here. I am Bryan O'Donnell. Here with the Unibaby, Bill Shaner.
That's me,
We
as always.
we have a very special announcement, everybody. We are now sponsored. That's right. We are sponsored by the wonderful Craft Tea Kombucha. Look at that. Look at that. We got merch. We got stickies.
His little stickies.
We got t-shirts. We do need to, yes, that's going to be important to remind people throughout the show. Look at that.
I got the ginger lime edition.
I got elderberry honey.
Sipping on it.
Should we do a toast, Bill?
Let's do a toast. Hold on. I'm trying to stick my sticker to my sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, stick that sticky. We love Craft Tea. We love Matt. Matt will be here in the comments. So mix it up with him. Go. Look at that. Very satisfying.
And it's the choice of a new generation.
Craft Tea Kombucha. Worcester's local culture.
That's right. Hey, cheers. Let's do this.
Cheers, everybody.
Clink.
Clink.
Good stuff.
That is so good.
It really is good.
It's crazy good. Yeah. I haven't had this one before. Very, very excited about it. We're going to be partnering with Craft Tea. We are very appreciative of Matt for supporting us. And you guys should buy more Craft Tea kombucha.
Yeah. You can find it in a lot of places. You get it at Hyder's, get it at Mass Liquors, get it at Wachusett Liquors, Austin on Park. You can find it everywhere.
And if you have a local store that doesn't sell it, tell them to start selling it, or else you're not going to shop there anymore.
Yes, boycott them.
Yes, we're big proponents of boycotts, and we think that if a store doesn't sell Craft Tea kombucha, then they don't know what the hell they're doing.
They do not. Hold on. I gotta take a picture of this stream for my Instagram and tell people I'm going to the stream as the Unibaby. It's my Halloween costume.
Bill the Unibaby. We already have memes coming out of this show. It's pretty exciting.
Bill the Unibaby.
We're getting sound bleed coming in from.
Sorry.
Your speaker. Oh, it's all good.
All right, I'm done.
The Boys to Men cots. If your store doesn't sell Craft Tea kombucha, then the river's gonna run dry, baby. I'm down on bended knee, and I'm begging you to sell Craft Tea kombucha. Worcester's local culture. The other Worcester brewery.
Yeah. And happy to support a local business doing good stuff. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And if that's what selling out means, I'm a fucking sellout, okay? All right? Let's get that out of the way right now.
Yeah, we are leaning into having sponsors, but we will punish you if your values don't line up with ours.
Yes.
Luckily, Craft Tea's values very much line up with ours, so this is going to be a great partnership.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
It's good meeting with Matt yesterday, and it's an exciting thing.
How you doing,
now my gut will be so much healthier.
I'm very excited to feel so good.
I've been eating a lot of sauerkraut this week too, so I'm really just hammering it on. Yeah. I'm really just getting all the way there. Yeah, my gut's like super healthy. The healthiest gut you could possibly need. It's not. I'm going good. Just got my second edition of my election coverage out this afternoon. I meant to get that out over the weekend, but the homeless encampment being demolished, that took precedence over the election story. But now that's out, and I'm going to get a couple more stories out this week on the school committee and on the at-large races. And yeah, I think next week, right, we're going to do an election theme.
Yeah, so tonight I think we're gonna, as we go through the meeting, I think we're gonna spend a little time talking about the upcoming election next week. Bill just did put out a 2-part guide to the election. I think it's very important that people check it out, but we'll go through a little bit of it. And then next week there's no city council meeting because of the election results coming in, but we're still gonna have a stream. We're gonna do live coverage of the election night. Worcester's only live coverage of election night. We're the only ones that care.
Yes, we're the only ones doing it. And we are just better than everyone else at it. So I don't see why you'd want to go anywhere else. And just watch us. And you know what? It's going to be interesting. And in the piece that I did this afternoon, I broke down kind of the numbers game of who's likely to win and who isn't, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get through the meeting here, and some of the dead spaces. I'll keep us up on the election, because that is coming up, and a lot of people seem to not really care about it. A whole
or
lot.
Sometimes know about it.
Right, know about it. Yeah, and there's plenty of reasons to care. But I wouldn't blame anybody for not knowing about it, because it kind of has flown way under the radar. So
absolutely,
yeah. So that's a problem. But hold on, I'm just posting the stream to Facebook.
Yeah, really, I hope people are taking advantage of early voting this week. There are places to vote tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. We officially endorsed that statement. Cipro for jail. So if you can vote this week, do it. If not, Tuesday, make sure that you know your local polling place. Some of them have changed this election, so please do check that out. And vote for the correct people, because there are so few votes that happen in these local elections in off years that there can be wild swings between what people what the actual like makeup of the city is and who gets to represent us. And we've seen that throughout most of Worcester's history, that it's mostly non-representative, because the people that vote aren't necessarily the same people that live here, demographics wise. So all sane people need to vote, because all the insane people are constantly voting. That's all they fucking do.
That's that's a very key point. If you're sane, you might think, why should I care? And that's exactly why we have psychos on the city council, is because normal people rightly understand that there's not a whole lot to care about, and that City Hall doesn't really inspire you to want to care about it by design. I might think sometimes more conspiratorially, but all the right-wing psychos, they always vote. So we always get a bunch of right-wing psychos on the city council, and we could potentially add a couple really, really psychotic ones this year. So pay attention.
Yeah. Please vote. These elections have much more consequence in your daily life than the presidential election does, than national elections do. These are things that are happening around us that it's a lot of times it's frustrating, but it's a vote. It's hard to do. Sometimes it's hard to make time to do it, but ultimately it's one day. And you can get a free pen. Thank you, a Blue Lobster. That is the number one reason to vote and go to hotels, is free pens.
Right. You get a sticker too. Don't forget about the sticker.
Oh yeah, I love a sticker.
Yes, we need to send Bergman back to the sewer. Yeah, we do. We really do.
He stinks.
And he does stink. I have my first election story, if we could maybe drop it in the chat, has everything you need if you are not a voter to become one. Pulling it up.
Yeah, let me pull that up here.
Including where to vote and how to register, though it might be too late for that, but I think Worcester has a policy where if you show up and you're just like, shit, I forgot, they can kind of do that at the polls for you.
Yeah, they'll
okay, cool.
Yeah. It's at least worth making us think about, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Provisional ballots can always be cast. They might not count it if for whatever reason, but you should cast it no matter what, and just fight for your vote. Absolutely fight for your vote. And don't show ID. We don't have voter ID laws in Massachusetts yet.
Yeah, don't even try. Don't do that. But yeah, so this is the third time that we've done Worcester Council Theater 3000, and it's been a lot of fun the first 2 times, and I think we're going to try to make this a regular thing and try to do it every week. And with the help of crafty kombucha, it makes it a lot easier and tastier to keep doing that. So thank you for everyone that has been tuning in and finds this entertaining, and comments. The comments are, I think, objectively the best part of this entire experience.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of funny thoughts, memes, observations come out of the comments. So just keep firing off those comments. We love them, folks. We want
all your wild takes. We will fully back them all up.
Pull up that comment with J Murray 508 about the Afghan refugees. Is that the one where she wants it's a very, very vague item. Hold on, I'll scroll through. And Travis, I'm going to send you the agenda so I can throw that in the chat. But there was a Sarai Rivera order that was very, very vaguely written, and I kind of had no idea what she was talking about. But hold on. I don't think I can comment myself, so I got to put that agenda in there.
You can throw it in the private chat if you want.
Yeah, and then we have a private chat where we talk shit on all of you. Just kidding. Don't stop watching. Just kidding. Yeah, so if you go to the agenda,
there we go,
and you go to item 10F, I'm going to read the text of this. It is impossible to know what she's talking about based on the language of the order. It says, request city manager coordinate a meeting between the city's public safety officers, public health officials, and inspectional service officials to develop a collaborative plan to address various issues within the city's districts. So she wants people to meet and talk about issues. She doesn't say what issues, but she wants to. So I think that has to do with the homeless encampment, which was vacated last week because all of those departments are involved in doing stuff like that. But we'll certainly see.
Bergman here. Calorio
here.
King here. Merrill Carlson
here.
Rivera. Rose.
Yeah. We'll see about. I don't know. Really don't know.
Here. Councilors Rosen.
Wow.
Here.
Sean's got a city council fit on tonight.
Yeah.
Wally.
You love to see it.
And Mayor Petty.
Yeah.
Here. Approval of the minutes of October 12th, 2021. Roll call.
Councilors Bergman.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
It's completely devoid of meaning, and maybe she'll attach some meaning to it when she speaks on it.
Yes.
But
Rivera.
we don't know yet. We don't know.
Rose.
You can't possibly tell what the language of the way it's written.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
What else is interesting?
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Public participation. The person may not speak for more than 2 minutes on the item appearing on the agenda. Does anybody out there want to speak? Okay, seeing no. Does your name and city of residence come up to the, if you want to speak, come up to the railing? Yes, you have to name and city of residence and the item number too. Okay, Freddie, go ahead. What's your name and city of residence, item number?
Fred Nathan of Worcester. Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure what number it is. I know there's an item on here about the bus service.
Yep.
I'll let you read it.
I, for one, would like
Go ahead.
city councilors that were involved in a little bit of light
I just
eco-terrorism.
want to invite him up.
Again, our views are not
I guess, graduates from the
uh,
clock.
representative of our sponsors.
Yes,
So
They
I was
don't.
thinking,
but we do support light
in
eco-terrorism.
Worcester has gone up.
Light eco-terrorism is fine.
Woot Nanny and Bill Shaner. That is not a craft tea kombucha
Crafty kombucha does not
position.
necessarily need to have a position on eco-terrorism as a business.
No.
Now, there is a lot of traffic. out
Moderation in eco-terrorism.
there. You know, can't deny it. So if we can get enough people on the buses and cut down on the traffic, I think it's kind of like a
Yes.
no-brainer. And
Absolutely.
whatever the city has to do to make this happen.
That would be so
I mean,
see.
right now, there are free buses.
Yes, through
It'd be nice
to
if
the
more
councilors,
people
through the
took the
chair,
to get the traffic off the streets.
twitch.tv/WootNanny
And let's face it,
Tune in now.
when there's
We're making
traffic
fun of
out
all of
there
you.
and
Baba
people
Booey,
are
Bobby
rushing
Booey,
around,
Una baby.
people get hurt.
Yeah. This guy
And
is
look at
such
all
a
the
piece of
people that
work.
get hit by cars out there. Look at all the accidents. Anything that
He's
city
having
can
good
do
stuff to say.
to
Like
support an
he's just
idea
asking
of
people to
keeping
take the
buses
bus.
free,
Yeah,
He's-
right.
He's,
kind
has
of a
good,
no-brainer.
he's just kind of a goofy.
So whatever tax money
He's one of those people that comments every week
I
and
know
they
that's
don't.
kind of a bad word around here, tax money. But if you're going to spend the tax money, might as well spend it on the people. And this is for the people.
Thank you.
It's a sensible position.
Yeah. Either one, come
Oh,
on
here-
up. Why don't you come up to the railing anyways? And why don't you come up, sir, to the, sir, you come speak. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name's Thomas Libiak. Where I live on Plantation Street, Dominion Road,
Yeah.
behind all the biotech centers, Bioscience Park up by Green Hill, there's a deer sanctuary. It's 200 years old. And during birthing season, for 200 years, the deer have been coming down to Lake Quincy to drink water. And
I didn't know
don't
this.
know, countless times I've seen deer laying up Plantation Street, being hit by cars. So I thought maybe a sign during birthing season,
Okay.
deer crossing, and maybe save some deer.
Assigned deer
I'll look
fucking.
at that.
Also,
I
as
fully
far as
support this idea.
taxes,
Yeah.
From what I read in school and a report I did,
Okay, here we
I
go.
read about fertilizer.
Okay.
and how dangerous it is to the environment.
This is why he's our
especially with
sponsor.
birds.
This is
Like,
just great content.
A third of the bird population. So you tax cigarettes, and because they're unhealthy to people, what if you put a tax on fertilizer?
Okay, thank you.
That
Maybe you
that's
can-
like one of those ideas that's so stupid. It's
What's your
really
name,
smart.
city of residence, and item
Like,
number?
obviously, the city council has no
authority
authority on that whatsoever. But
On 10B, just for a sec. 10B, yes,
Dear-
it's about the expedition of senior housing, affordable housing.
Deer can't read is
I
so
wanted to
fucking
speak
funny.
on
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And my grandson, just had a question. Why?
Matt, why do you even
the
need
fuck
us?
Okay, you're done.
His
Bye, you're done. You're
mom
done.
cannot find
Shut-
housing
shut the
for 8 years,
microphone
and why
off,
the
please.
fuck can his
Shut the
grandma?
microphone off.
Fuck you.
Go ahead.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
woo!
Fuck yeah.
She is yeah. That's Wolfpaw Wahaya, and she is a pretty righteous
Okay, my
activist in the city.
apologies to the listening audience, and anybody else want to speak?
Fuck yeah,
Hell yeah.
cool. I don't even know what she's talking about, but I'm with it.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm with
Chairman.
it. Yeah,
Looks like
Wolfpaw
we
for
do have
mayor.
One or two folks on the call-in lines. The first person I can identify is Fred Taylor. I'll unmute Mr. Taylor now.
That was so cool.
That fucking rocked.
Good evening,
Fuck
Fred Taylor,
y'all.
Mr. President,
We're
President of the
absolutely
Worcester
clipping that
Branch
one.
NAACP,
Yeah, we have
Mr.
to.
Mayor, City Manager, and City Council. I'm here to speak about item.
We should
They put
volunteer
the
somebody
rules up.
Before I speak
to just
about
go to
items
every
related
meeting
that,
and
I
be
want
like,
to,
"Fuck you,"
first put on
and
the record
leave.
that the Worcester NAACP and many community members are
Yeah.
really
Put him in a Woot Nanny shirt.
anxious and
Yeah.
really would like to see the body-worn cameras implemented sooner than later.
Yeah, I've worked
I
with
do
Wolf Paw a
understand
couple
that there's a
times.
resolution
Really
waiting
good
until the
people,
state comes out
really
with
good
their standard
intentions.
on
She does have a hot
policies.
head, but
That won't
Yeah.
come
you
out
know,
until
that's
July.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
after that, I'm sure there'll be a lot of listening sessions and a lot of exploration of how we're going to implement this in the city. I would encourage the city council to move forward with starting to explore that through vendors, storage capacity, cost. And I would also recommend that we could possibly reach out to other municipalities that are using body-worn cameras. So item 12E is our report to Committee on Public Safety on the resolution of the Mayor Petty that the City Council of Worcester does hereby support the recommendations to delay the body camera program until after the Commonwealth issues a statewide standard for the purchase and use of body-worn cameras, along with the
Thank you, Blue
recommendation
Lobster.
that the Human Rights Commission and the Worcester Police hold
great
at least
work.
5 public sessions
Wow,
to
that was
discuss
quick.
the program and its
Yeah.
impact. I don't understand.
This platform
what
rules. You can
recommended
just
the
do that.
file resolution is. Can you just explain what that means, the resolution to be filed?
Indigenous activist tells mayor to fuck off.
Let's get that going.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's correct. So the item was actually previously
No, that
voted on
rules.
and then referred to committee so that there could be a discussion about the vote that had already taken place. Like I believe it was in March of 2021.
It was there through you, Mr. Chair. It was there for informational purposes.
Okay.
So we've already voted on it.
This is a while ago.
Right.
Before we,
He doesn't
now we
remember
have the
that.
public hearings, now we're coming with the
Correct.
recommendations probably pretty soon.
Correct.
So this is probably irrelevant in some ways, Mr. Taylor, so I think it's just old and being filed.
Yes,
has no
100%.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to get to? Like, you
Just
didn't want me to
understand what-
delay it.
I mean,
No,
when
it's just
they're-
being
they're
filed. We're not voting on
Literally
this.
destroying people's property,
Thank you.
their only
Okay.
worldly possessions,
Okay.
Yeah.
and people are
Thank you,
trying to
Chairman.
find housing and
The
can't
next
get
person I
it.
can identify is
Maybe the mayor needs to
Garcia. I just
hear
Yeah,
a few more
maybe-
fuck yous.
Oops.
Good
Maybe that's
afternoon. I'm
not
here
something
with,
that you dismiss
National
offhand
Grid
and just be
School,
like, okay, you're done.
7A,
Because they're not
7B, and
talking about it in a
7C.
polite way you would like
Thank
them to. Fucking
Yeah, the
asshole.
next person.
But
looks
the
like
only
there's
thing
no
that gets a
just
rise
call
out of
users at
the
this time. So
mayor's
if you're on a phone,
impoliteness.
you
Yeah,
can
if
state your name.
if
and
you
we'll
raise
know
your
if you're
voice,
the person
yeah.
there.
Because he's got, standard Democrat brain.
See, not hearing anyone on call in line 2. Once again, just unmuted the call-in users. Could you all please state your names?
Kevin Kassan.
Kevin Kassan.
Oh,
Hi, Kevin Kassan, president of the Worcester here at the city. I was calling in about the item on city departments and transparency. Last week I went for a walk in the woods down Blackstone, and I was talking to a woman, and she said the city had gone in. I'm sorry, I'm frustrated here. And torn down 17 tents. Well, she didn't say how many, but tents for homeless folks.
No, he said he's a resident.
And then I did catch some stuff on the internet, but there's still been no report from the city manager. So I would really like for the council to ask for a full report and a release of all documents related to that. It's just incredibly frustrating this happened, and there's been no statement from the city administration. So I'd ask the council to release that information. Thank you.
That is true. That's a very good point. He's talking about the homeless camp that was demolished that I wrote about the other week or last week.
Okay, anybody else?
And
Mr. Chairman, that is
Throw that article up too, because it's really, I got to tell you, Bill, incredible writing.
Oh, thanks, man. But yeah, so what he just asked for is for the city to make an official report position on why they decided to do that and release all the documents related to it. And
10D, Councilor Rio is going to hold 10C and 10D.
if Mayor Petty wins as mayor and not as city councilor,
Councilor Merrill Carlson is going to.
I don't know what happens in that situation. I really don't know. Because I know you have to win
14B.
as both.
Okay.
And if you don't win as an at-large councilor, you can't become the mayor. So it might go to the second highest vote getter in the mayoral race if they also want to see.
Motion is to open the hearing
But that's a whole
Street,
can of worms because of how
North
quirky
Street,
it is. How quirky
Carolina
the
Drive, I mean. and
That would
Peterson.
essentially mean that Donna Calorio is mayor,
Open hearing.
and
Roll
that's,
right.
we're in
But
trouble.
the universe in which Donna Calorio gets enough votes to get on the city council and Joe Petty doesn't is a fucking
yeah.
weird one.
Carol
Yeah.
Carlson,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Rose,
Us too.
Rosen,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Toomey,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Yes, I did hear about the Queer Coalition
Anybody
press conference
opposed
today,
to the
and
agenda?
I hope somebody
Anybody
covered
opposed to
that.
motion
I
to
was
close the
going to
hearing?
cover that, but I
Any
couldn't make it down there
any
because I had
final
other
locations?
stuff to do. So
Roll call.
I hope that there's a
Councilors
video of that or
Bergman,
something
Florio,
because it's all
Yes.
about Chanel
King.
Susie
Carol Carlson,
and
Yes.
all the homophobic
Rivera.
shit she said, and
Rose.
she's just supposed to be a candidate.
Yes.
Rosen,
Yes.
I mean, that's
Russell.
she's the perfect example, and you
Yes.
said it in your piece
Wally.
about
Yes.
like when you
And
spoke
Mayor
about
Petty.
her. Is that like
Yes. 8A.
she's
8B,
essentially
on
the
town public works.
perfect example of why it's
Uh,
bad that there's no
8C,
attention given
for
to
the
this
planning
local
board.
election.
Yeah, because she's sliding by. She got invited to be a
8D,
motivational speaker at a school at South High the other week.
Public Works Committee.
Really weird.
Unbelievable, just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And
She straight up said she doesn't like
8D,
agree with the homosexual lifestyle. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm going to refer to
Just
traffic and parking. And let's take a roll call on those. Roll call.
Well,
Councilors Bergman,
I think Mayor Luke's, once you're mayor forever. It's kind of
Carol
like
Carlson.
being president.
Rivera,
that's why we should have a dog mayor.
Rose,
Oh, I would
Yes.
love that so
Rosen,
much.
Yes.
Russell.
In fact,
Toomey,
in 2023, I might
Wally.
organize a
Yes.
campaign for a dog.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think that-
Maddie T's dog, Newt.
Hearing.
I think. That's
Oh, you're right, Newt. Yeah.
2021 at 6:30 for condo location on Searsway, Belmont, and Hospital Drive. Roll call.
Councilors Bergman,
great question.
No, she was
Gloria.
invited directly,
King,
as far as I know.
Carol Carlson,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Rosen,
Which is an ethical
Yes.
Russell,
problem.
Toomey,
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to find out who
Yes.
invited
And
her.
Mayor
Yeah.
Petty.
Yeah, I need to check back in on that. I'm making note
I,
too.
Cedric Arno, request an opportunity to speak before the council concerning the city's meeting relative to American Rescue Plan funds and subsequent information. Suggested the city of Worcester may use American Rescue Plan
Stubbs
Act
the cat.
funding to pay city employees. Is that you? Oh, you can come up and,
And now swear at the mayor.
oh, Cedric, how you doing? Is your name, say your residence?
Cedric Arno, City of Worcester
Newt's
resident.
the greatest. I love Newt.
Good evening. Thank you to this honorable body for allowing me to address you tonight. I did not know how to begin my address to you, so I am using the words of the Office of the President of the United States, a release from the White House dated October 19th, 2021. From the first day,
That would be awesome.
every day since, the Biden-Harris administration has taken a historic approach to advancing racial equality, including directing every agency across the whole of the federal government to address the lasting impacts of systemic racism on Black communities. For
Where is he
generations,
going with this?
entrenched disparities in our society and economy, at times facilitated by this federal government, have made it harder for Black Americans to have a fair shot at the American dream. Centuries of injustice.
This is about using
and
COVID relief to pay city
in
employees.
the Black communities not
Kind of
only
a weird way to
undermine the
approach this.
American promise of equal opportunity, but also keep our nation, entire nation, from reaching its potential. Economic and opportunities for Black families and Black and communities by signing into law the historic American Rescue Plan Act and implementing robust regulatory reform, President Biden has helped Black Americans own and stay in homes. The ARP has expanded access to wealth creation through small businesses, ownership in Black communities, and President Biden has directed agencies to use federal contracting authorities to increase its procurement from small disadvantaged businesses, including Black-owned businesses, by 50%. Providing immediate relief to Black families and Black people through American Rescue Plan, the ARP provides cash relief directly to low and middle income Americans.
Hi,
and is
Doug.
projected to cut
Hey, Doug.
Thanks for joining.
Black child poverty rate by more than 50% this year, and has already cut Black child poverty by 41%. In addition, the plan increased supplemental national assistance program benefits by 15%. Through this plan, the president has reduced food insecurity in Black households and has been doubled the white household rate between 1/4 and 1/3 since early July. Worcester, through the city manager's office, has shown that they do not toe the line as the White House initiative has allocated resources for. I am here today to advance the case for those that check off Black or African American on their city census. I am advocating for the city to give a one-time check of $10,000 to all households that check off Black or African American. At the Boys and Girls Club during the information center session, out of the $140 million allocated for the city of Worcester, those in attendance were informed that they can allocate $14 million and they had to have a specific area of concentration to pick from. This is totally not the case. The President of the United States signed the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 with the promise that the monies would go to the residents of the cities it is destined to, without the specific parameters to offset how money is allocated. This has resulted in the Chicago mayor, Sister Lightfoot in Chicago, gave money to residents in the form of checks and tax credits. The Cherokee Nation gave $2,000 to each of its tribal members. These are monies going directly to households of disenfranchised people in the United States who have been systematically oppressed.
And in Worcester, we want to just give it to the cops.
Yeah.
I am here to fight and advocate for those in the city of Worcester who check off Black or African American on the city census. This is a fight I take on for those who do not know there is a fight going on for their monies. I am fighting for those who are fighting other battles to assist those who are disproportionately affected by the institutions in Worcester. The city of Worcester has documented countless cases where discrimination has affected those who check off Black and African American in housing, hiring, and quality of life. This money will go toward those making less than $100,000, which amounts to roughly 5,833 households in Worcester. This is not even 50% of the monies allocated to the city. Yes, I want my 40 acres in a mule, but I cannot get it. I recall how my mother talked about her mother as a sharecropper in Bennettsville, South Carolina. Today I'm talking for my mother, my mother's mothers, my daughter, and all who are disproportionately affected by the institutions that have and are running this country and this city. In addition, no monies from the American Rescue Plan should go to Worcester City employees. They have carried no further burden than the thousands of people who continue to work in the city of Worcester, than others who are not even considered essential employees.
Can you wrap up your comments in a minute?
Yep. But are not essential to the city residents' quality of life, and this is no assurance any of these employees are Worcester residents. Thank you for allowing me to address this honorable body. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. So what this guy did was he was like, "Oh, Mo Bergman wants to give $5,000 to all the cops. I think we should give $10,000 to all the Black families.
Council request city manager
Would greatly prefer $10,000 go to all the Black families than $5,000 go to all the cops."
Absolutely. 100%.
And that is an idea that may or may not be endorsed by our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha.
Request council celebrate local authors of the city council meeting prior to city council's regular business. I think I skipped one of your arms. You want to speak on the other one too?
Sure. Oh, 40 acres in Worcester would be worth quite a bit.
Request all street signs missing in neighborhoods be replaced.
Okay, on 8B, many of us have been going door to door.
Oh, boy.
Over nearly 40 years. One thing that comes up a lot, other than the concern about potholes in the city, is the lack of street signs that are missing and never replaced.
This
And
is
at
so
one time,
boring.
We had
I can't. I'm gonna go to the bath. I can't listen to this one. It's about how he just wants street signs to be put back up. It's like, okay.
Yeah, this is a classic Bill Coleman.
Yeah, it's classic Bill Coleman. He's gonna speak for his entire 3 minutes on the need to just like print new street signs and put them back up. And it's like, dude, he's such a sweetheart, but I just can't. I can't do it. Can't do it for this one. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll see you in a minute.
Right street. Downtown Worcester looks beautiful with the beautification program and the ambassadors cleaning up downtown. And you see street signs on every single corner. But
Bill is Worcester's Leslie Knope.
Yeah, really. He's very passionate.
So much about small municipal things,
8J,
and
yes,
it's admirable. It's extremely admirable. If this is a city council fit, we can say that.
Yeah, he is always dressed to the nines.
He's looking great.
Where women played softball.
But Bill Shaner is right.
Men were serving overseas, but maybe we can do something with Polar Park.
We got
our gem in the city.
We got big issues going on in the city right now.
Celebrate local.
He's right. They should put back up the street signs.
About ready to have a big fundraiser for its foundation where we honor local authors.
Candidate for city council. People should know that.
Yeah, Travis sounds hot tonight.
Kudos for their
oh,
efforts
thank
in
you.
writing a great.
It's the microphone more than anything.
Or at least
I love street signs. I love street.
Who doesn't?
I have many of them in our house right now.
Don't admit to that to the
Love
public.
Augustus, just call me.
For humor. That's for humor. That's
Okay. So I'm going to file 8I, send HA to the manager, and AK.
I was kind of hoping Bill would tell the mayor to fuck off too, though.
Councilors.
Yes.
Like really
Gloria?
wanted that to
Yes.
happen.
King,
Yes.
Yes.
Merrill Carlson,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Toomey,
Yes.
The
Wally.
best.
Yes.
The absolute
And
best.
Yes.
The nightlight
We're
is
gonna do
back.
Change orders on 9A to 9G.
Tonight's
Motion
a
is
happening
to
episode.
Adopt.
This is
Councilors Bergman,
Yes.
a lot of good
Gloria,
stuff
Yes.
happening.
King,
Yes.
Merrill Carlson,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Rose,
It's true. It's
Yes.
absolutely true. He's,
Rosen,
as
Yes.
Jay Murray said, relentless.
Yes.
Toomey,
Very respectable.
Wally,
Yes.
and Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, we're
You
on
don't see a lot of
orders
his
requesting
signs
and committee
around.
on Public service and transportation invite
No,
to
we
an
should-
upcoming meeting.
We should
Clark
next
University
time around
student
do a
and
fundraiser.
Darren
Get him some.
Helter to discuss the honors
Get
and
him some.
success to outline
You know,
ways to
some
improve the
cachet
RTA while
going.
reducing operating costs.
I'd kind of
Councilor
like to
Rosen?
do like I have this. I want to do
Thank
like
you, Mr.
a
Chairman.
mischief style
I
campaign
am
for
still
somebody.
honored to be representing the city manager, our city council, and the folks.
Is your dump
residents,
body down is the
business owners
funniest.
in the city of Worcester.
Is the
As
funniest
a member
street
of the
sign I've ever
WRTA
seen.
advisory board and
Municipal sign I've
now
ever seen in
the
my
chairman
life.
of that board. And I want folks to know that they hear about the RTA all the time now because we're always discussing
I mean, that's fair.
whether on New Year's Eve, December 31st, we should continue the suspension of fares that we've had for approximately a year and a half. Or
You
whether
think
we
he
should
bought
go
that
back to
painting at a
charging
yard sale?
fares. So that's what people hear, but there's many
Yes.
other things going
100%.
on with the WRTA besides discussions of fares. And
Yeah, this is
student from
a
Clark University doing his graduate honors thesis.
Molly Cronin
Garen
agreed.
Coulter
This is one of
has been
Gary
working
Rosen's great
as an intern, and I guess under the direction of
actual
our Councilor
like
Bergman. So
fights.
we thank Mo Bergman for working with Garen. And
Yeah,
Garen has
canonically,
come up with quite a
Hootenanny's best
report
friend,
and some
Molly Cronin.
recommendations
Still going
on
strong.
how he thinks, and he's done his homework on this, how he thinks that the routes and the efficiency and the reliability of the WRTA can be improved, at least here in Worcester and across the system. Now, I haven't read yet his extensive report, but I did meet with him, and I know he would like to present that report to the city council. And I told him the appropriate way would be to present the report to our public service and transportation.
Gary Rosen is the most
Now, we're
unlikely
meeting
champion
on November
of public transportation.
November 8th, I
That's
believe.
crazy.
Yes,
It's
He
crazy.
started like in
After
2018
the
as being
election, we are
completely against
having
the
a meeting,
idea
but
of
that
free
meeting
buses,
will be
and now he's like the
pretty
biggest
much
advocate
solely
transportation people have.
He had one conversation with Attell, and she convinced him.
He's the only public official I've ever seen go, oh, okay, that makes sense, and I was wrong, and now I'll support this. And I give him credit for that.
Glean certain things from that report. And, if it's going to help with improvements of our service, that certainly will be welcome. I just want the council and the public who are maybe listening and watching now to know that the RTAs, I guess there were 15
and light
RTAs
eco-terrorism
and the MBTA too.
I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with Gary Rosen about eco-terrorism.
From each city and town based on the usage.
Do what we want or we'll destroy your pickleball.
And about almost $4 million is sliced from the cherry sheet that we never see. Money that would have been coming from the state to the city of Worcester. Well, it's taken so it can go to the WRTA in our case. The next
as an old himself,
we
he
contribute
really
$4 million. The next
gets their
town
issues.
is Auburn, and they give $300,000, which is a lot, obviously, for Auburn. But I just want people to know that Worcester is obviously the biggest user of the WRTA, and we are making the major contribution.
Ooh, actually, he raises a good point. Can we make WRTA free for Worcester and triple price for Auburn? Because fuck Auburn.
Yeah.
Please know the
that's how we'll make it back.
Team of the RTA and the entire advisory board is working hard to make sure we get a
very much
system that's even more reliable.
My belief that Auburn should be destroyed. We should bulldoze it completely. I hate that town. It's the worst town in America, maybe the world.
I'm glad to report this,
and
though,
we should destroy Auburn. Thank you.
RTAs
does not reflect the views
Worcester
of
had the
Crafty
best
Kombucha.
recovery rate for ridership among all 15 RTAs. So I think these figures are of as maybe this past summer. But we made the best comeback out of 15.
You have to pave Rutland first.
Yeah, your ridership returns because you are temporarily at least zero fare. That might be the case. We don't really know that.
Holden is a fake place. It does not exist.
To help out. So the RTA is, I think, in good hands. Things are happening.
Holden objectively did not exist before like 1950, which is
true. And once I finish in 2 months my time on the Worcester City Council, I still plan.
I saw Captain Bob today. We could probably make this happen.
The RTA representing the city manager,
going.
our city of Worcester, and of course the City Council. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So we'll send that to the Public Service.
Holden is literally what became of white flight from Worcester in the 50s and 60s.
Gloria.
Like it actually is rich Worcester.
Carlson.
Yes.
Rivera.
It's like
Rose.
It's like Nashville, though. It's like everyone has money there, but they're all trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes.
Our beautiful boaters, folks. We love them. We love our boaters.
Return to 2/3.
Yeah, what the hell even is Jefferson?
Fucking jerk-offs in Jefferson, I'll tell you.
Senior citizens, Councilor Rose.
There is notably one
Thank you, Mr.
key
Chairman.
jerk-off in
As
Jefferson.
everyone on the council knows, there's the 1/3 of the senior center is being used by the seniors. It's being put to just marvelous use.
And I have his address.
Census
When
is
anyone wants
down
it.
now. A lot of things
For-
that used to be
to-
going
for-
on
for
haven't,
no reason.
recovered and returned yet.
Certainly no reasons that reflect the
Things are
views
still
of
going pretty well. The
Crafty
senior
Kombucha.
center soon we'll be opening a new wellness
Very
center up
delicious.
there,
I'm almost halfway through this
for the
bottle.
seniors. But there's still a
Yeah,
good 2/3
How much
of that
kombucha are you supposed to
facility,
drink?
of that building. That
I'm gonna
just
push
has
the outer
never
limits
been,
tonight, I think.
Brought back and never been redeveloped.
Freaking love this elderberry.
I know that the city in the past has tried to find a developer, but I find it amazing. Developers are coming to Worcester lately, and boy, they're tripping over each other to try to get facilities and land. And
because
I just love the guy,
the
the way this guy
We have
talks.
a
He's
critical
just
shortage
adorable.
of appropriate housing, especially affordable housing here in the city. And many of our seniors would love to live at the senior center and then take
Good.
part
I'm
in all
on
the
pace then.
activities at the senior center. Now, a lot of our seniors who are at the senior center, who do use that on a daily or weekly basis, they are widows or widowers, and they would only need a small apartment. They wouldn't need 3 or 4 rooms or 2 bedrooms, just a studio apartment. So I pictured the rest of that building that I've been through a few times, and it's it's pretty old and ancient. The building, it was the nurses' dorm for St. Vincent Hospital of years ago.
So this really is a good idea of turning that nurses' hospital into affordable housing for seniors.
Yeah. At least
but
some
can
use.
you imagine how fucking freaky that dorm would get? You got all these widows and widowers living in like little studio apartments on the same floor. Oh man, that'd be a lot of
developers for that property.
I've been in there too. It's like
would line up.
It's pretty
to
fucked
live
up in there.
Mr. Manager?
I have not heard what the retraining was for the cop who shot his gun off in the station, but I'm sure it was of little consequence, and it wasn't very hard.
The old nurses' quarters for senior housing that would be complementary to the senior center use. It has not been for lack of effort. We have brought multiple developers up there. The challenge, quite honestly, is the floor plates are relatively small. And I realize what the council said, a lot of seniors might not need a lot of space. But to renovate the building in the condition it is and to get it up to the kind of condition that we would want our seniors to live in.
Yeah, it would be a loss of LTC for anyone else, you're right. But cops are not beholden to the laws they enforce. So.
And so we've talked about ideas, could you add on to the building, et cetera. So we continue to explore options with developers. That was one of the reasons we purchased the Anderson building property and took the Anderson building down so that we would have more of a footprint if we had to do an addition on to make the number of units that could be put on that site sufficient to compensate a developer for the level of investment that would be necessary to renovate.
Yeah, I didn't catch the I couldn't catch the debate yesterday. Any fireworks? Any funny moments there?
But as of right now, it's not that anybody doesn't share the vision
we
of
should,
senior housing or doesn't think it's a great site. It's just the footprint.
I didn't see any coverage of it. I couldn't watch.
Nobody's been able to figure out how to make the math work.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, we could. Cipro's got an event going on at the post office pub right now.
Have we done any thinking about
head
maybe
down.
taking the building down? Then I don't know if it's on the National Register, Historic Register.
We would all get arrested if we did
that. Ever been discussed taking the building down and starting?
Maybe a couple
over
desktops in that bar if we
no
walked in
longer
there.
appropriate for senior housing.
It's certainly something we could talk about, but it is going to be challenging because there are walls, as you know, that are shared with the senior center. So we'd have to do it in a way that protects the senior center part of the wall as well as, and then be able to take down the part that we're getting rid of. And quite honestly, the investments that we've made have been to improve.
Yeah, put out this Maine South Mom comment here. That is such a crucial point.
Wellness center.
The Augustus administration bends over backwards, tickles the nutsack of any developer that comes into the city. And we could be in a position where we're saying, all right, what does this development add to the city? What can we do for you? But that would mean that Ed Augustus's primary responsibility would be serving the people that live here and not the developers that want to do business here. By definition, his job is serving the developers, not the people.
Cost of the demo and the remediation. There's remediation
because he's a bitch.
That hasn't been where we've put our.
Somebody needs to say "fuck you" at Augustus.
Yeah,
doesn't mean
hey, Ed Augustus, fuck you.
Look at that if we are not.
Ed Augustus's position whenever he talks to the city councilor is he's always just like, yes, it's cute what the councilor suggested, but I'm the adult in the room, and these are all the reasons why I am not actually accountable to you, and I'm just going to do what I want. And the councilors go, okay, you're doing a great job, thank you.
Redeveloped. I've suggested apartment living, but if it's going to be office space or anything else, that would be
kind
fine.
of a pointless exercise to try to get him to do it
while I'm still a senior, because I don't know if I can wait, years, decades before we see it develop. So I appreciate the manager's efforts. Since he's become the city manager, that place is really looking pretty good. The seniors really appreciate everything the city manager and the city council have done over the last 8 years or so. So I just hope the progress will continue up there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So we're going to refer that to city manager. Roll call.
Councilors Bergman.
Yes.
Florio.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see a report on that where he's basically just like, no,
Yes.
Rose.
in like 4
Yes.
months.
Rosen.
And we've just all wasted our time.
Russell.
Yes.
Toomey.
Yahoo!
Wally.
Okay,
Yes.
so this next
Mayor.
one coming up is
Yes,
Rivera talking about
C and D. How are we going?
the
The E,
feasibility of allowing
request city manager
non-residents to
provide
vote.
City Council with a report concerning the various tools being utilized by the Executive Office of Economic Development to
Oh.
ensure all the departments' various projects and processes are being completed using an equitable lens. Council Rivera.
My bad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the things that we've talked a lot about is our economic development.
Wait,
and
why
one
we
of the
skipped a
things that we've
couple?
seen in
Yeah,
many
they did.
places that
Oh my God, he's gonna chug the whole
oftentimes,
thing.
we're not really taking
Go,
this
go,
for
go,
granted.
go, 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 go.
We saw what was able to be done when public health was able to do that. So what I'm requesting
Hey, buddy.
is looking at
What you
Yes, I
drinking?
do remember when he wrote that letter.
specifying what equity tools will be used. When you think about what is equity tools, it's a set of questions that help us view a decision from an equity perspective. The tools, they help us. They help our practices, our projects, our programs reduce inequities and improve success for all groups. As we look, there's an article by
Time to
local
play the weekly game of figure out what Rivera is getting at.
equity. I'm going to just read some of it. I think it will help us understand. When we achieve an equitable development, we increase the capacity of people of color to strengthen their communities and determine their own future and that of their neighborhoods. To achieve this idea, we need a systemic approach that can create those kinds of outcomes. This requires coordinated and comprehensive investment policies and protection to prevent displacements of vulnerable
When they went, can you please stop calling? We're not going to do any of that. So just stop calling.
Yeah, and then they said, I can't believe Sean Rose brought this here where it doesn't
Is
belong.
involuntary economic and cultural displacement of communities of color, and 2, inequitable access of
This has to do with
communities,
the redistricting,
inequitable
right?
access for communities of color to the key
This
determinants of social, physical,
has
and
to,
economic
this is,
well-being.
we're on agenda number
A clear
Oh, sorry.
framework is helpful for
1
developing
second.
and implementing and measuring effects.
10E.
So when we look at this, it's really important that
So that
one of the things that we
development
discussed
gets
was
viewed
that
through an
really
equitable lens.
is looking at improving home ownership, and I've mentioned this before, right? How do we get home ownership? But when we think about that, if we have a project,
Blue Lobster
that's gonna be
killing it with the
home
clips
ownership,
tonight.
it is crucial for us to look at
Yeah, Sean, you
obstacles to
missed
home ownership
you
in
missed some
relation
great
to
public
communities of
comments.
color. So, for example, back in the day with the
We talking
GI
about Duffy
Bill,
Field
we
again?
all knew that. So people,
No, Wolf Paw Wahia told the mayor to go fuck himself.
unfortunately,
It was sick.
we had
Yeah.
areas that were segregated and they couldn't purchase.
Wow.
And then where they could purchase, they couldn't.
Was it over
purchase
like
because they
trash?
they were not ready. We still know
No,
that
she was
to
talking
this
about
day,
how she
there
can't
are
find
some
a
of these
housing and her
practices
family
that
can't
still
find housing.
There's a lot of
Oh,
issues
fuck
in
yeah.
regards
He was
to
just like, we're done here. We're not talking about this. And she went, fuck you.
often is not taken into account. I think, for example, one of the good things that we did as a city when we
It
were
rocked.
looking at
Did we flash the the views of people do not reflect? Yeah.
economic development team, this administration was very purposeful in making sure that marginalized communities had access to information that could apply to grants, that could apply to, a much needed aid.
That's the one.
Those are the kinds of things. What I'm looking is that as you move forward in looking at the economic development of the city as in general, with so many things that we're doing and so many great things that we're looking at,
What do you
is that
mean,
we make
Sarai?
sure that we're looking at it from an equitable lens and that we're using the right.
Sorry, I wanted
tools.
good
And as
camera
we
time for
design
her
those plans,
shawl
we look
tonight.
at that.
It's a nice
looking at
shawl. It's a very
It's
nice
nice.
shawl.
That's a city
access
council fit.
to, to lending.
That's a
access,
city council.
I talked
We make a
about
T-shirt.
the
The city
homeowners.
council fit.
Those are all things that we really need to take a look at.
All
And
right.
very
So she's
quick
talking about home ownership rates and gentrification and stuff, and she's bringing up real good points, but I don't understand what the politics here. What is she accomplishing by saying this?
Thank you. So
And if you read the order, it makes no sense at all. Ensure the department's various projects and processes are being completed using an equitable lens. That does not mean anything. That doesn't mean
Yes.
Russell.
there's no concrete political action
Yeah.
attached to that.
Because everyone has their own opinion of what equitable means.
Cities,
Yeah, and it's not a
safety
set of
officers, public
like
health officials,
enforcement
inspectional
measures
services
or
officials
targets or
develop a
anything. It's
collaborative
just
plan
means like,
to address
oh,
various
understand
issues
what
within the
equity
city's
means.
district.
You know?
Council Rivera.
I order
Thank you,
everyone to
Mr.
be
Chairman.
nice.
I said cities district because I know I've spoken to several city councilors, and I know that, for example, City Councilor Candy Carlson was going to be signing on. It's just, unfortunately, it was just a little hectic this week. So we understand
So
that.
throw
but
out
she
this
was
comment by
definitely,
Main South
working on
Mom.
this order. And I've had an
Here.
opportunity to talk to several of the district councilors. You know, this
This
isn't
one.
something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
what we're
So
facing or what we're
yeah,
seeing, there's many
that's
communities that are seeing it.
exactly
And
what she's
so
saying, and that's good,
when
and
we
we
look
should be
at
doing
within
that.
districts, we
But
get
how?
to chat. I actually spoke to
What is the mechanism? She hasn't gotten there.
because her
She hasn't
district and
gotten there.
mine
She hasn't
have
told
a lot
us
of
what the
similarities, and
mechanism of
within
doing that
districts, we
is.
have like
How we would
one
do it? Would
area
it be
we
through
have
like requiring
couples,
community benefit
several that are
agreements?
struggling with
She hasn't
very
said
similar.
anything about
It's not something that
the
just
city's tax
we
policy
do
or
alone.
requiring
It's not
anything
something that
associated to
public
tax
health
breaks
can
or
do
anything.
alone,
It's
but
just
really
she's just
looking at
saying that it should be
developing
something that's done,
plan.
but she's not
I have
proposing a
spoken to
concrete
the city
political
manager. He
solution.
has been great
It's
about
just
this. We really have been
saying that
talking
it
back
should
and forth,
happen.
especially a lot this past
And it's
month
not, you're not going to get anywhere
week.
unless you propose something concrete.
And I know there is some works in trying to get together and having a conversation and getting the public health team as well as inspectional services and police to look at how we really look at this holistically and systemically, because there's definitely areas within our districts that are really really struggling. The quality of life is just completely being affected. And I know that it's not just we can't just arrest our way out of the issue. There are some times that people from public health go out, but it's not just something they can do. So there needs to be a level of collaboration, and we need to kind of really look at how do we implement those strategies and I've said this before, calling on the carpet many of the outreach programs and social service agencies that are getting funded at the state and federal level to do some outreach. Yet it is our city department that is going out and doing a lot of this work. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Toomey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to sign on to this.
I love cops.
Certainly is much needed. As a matter of fact, I had recently filed a report requesting information from
I love the police.
public health regarding our vendors and partners out in the community as well. So I think it's very important when we talk about public safety, we also need to remember that we also have dispatch as well.
Did her brain break for a second there?
When it comes to this, so
she is
brain broke when she put on her mask super incorrectly.
Amendment, and I'd be happy to sign on. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Just want to say
she's come to take on Dormammu.
Councilor Rivera, this is a great order, and I know that the city manager, myself, along with his team, often
wearing shawls,
and I know other district councilors have really seen in this past year and a half, a real uptick in what is happening in the city, whether it be homelessness or substance abuse or just a lot of issues in general in the district with many different issues. So I look forward to this because I think that if we all sit down at the table, we can try to figure this out collectively together. So
it's interesting.
Really,
Bergman's mask earlier today was white, but then he drank a bunch of piss.
I hate it when that happens. I really do.
I too would like to sign on to this.
You use the mask as a filter.
I know that when we talked about this in the past,
he's only the best piss for Mo Bergman's dinner drinks.
The city manager.
You know, it's not piss. Crafty kombucha.
Hey, baby.
Commissioner of Public Health, Dr. Castile, to meet with these providers, these community agencies that are doing the work, in addition to our code and law.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we know, a couple of weeks ago, we added a clinical position to Health and Human Services.
Send him back.
And that's something I'm very proud to have led the fight for.
I'm so
And,
glad I don't have
you
to
know,
pull out something to write about this
considering-
meeting.
continuing to do
Like that's not part of my job anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I have 500 words to fill.
as
Because
relates
god
to
damn.
populations in areas of
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can comfortably say crafty kombucha
and,
is the best
you
thing
know,
by far in
when you
District
think
2.
about
Yes.
next steps, and this particular article talks about developing a comprehensive plan. I know that there's already been some foundational work done there by the administration.
At least until I've
But
been to
really,
that free play arcade.
For me, this is about data. Data
Free play
tells a
rocks.
story.
Yeah, I
want
want
to
to go
talk
there
in
real
the
bad.
past about
Really good.
having more
And drink
clinical
crafty
response to
kombucha, which they should
challenges.
sell.
If they don't sell it, they should.
Yeah.
Learning
And you know what? That's why I haven't gone there yet.
Get a little gin and kombucha action.
about numbers,
A gin bucci, that's what I call it.
Gin bucci.
Clinical data, qualitative data that will help us engage
I
with
love a
these
little
folks.
gin
It will
bucci.
also help.
I like to have a cum and tonic.
The city certainly doesn't have the bandwidth to provide and to execute the way we need to execute in order to feed this.
Ah man. Ah man.
And moving forward,
It's the salt that really balances it out.
Order makes me think a little bit about all of the challenges that we have regarding public health, public safety, the unsheltered. We had a gentleman here today advocating for the Black community and regarding to the ARPA funds. We've heard another order just previously regarding using an equity lens. And, you know, it's just, we know that an equity lens isn't simply related to race and gender. It's also related to economic status.
Equity lens. What is that?
ability
A
to
new
avail yourselves of
Instagram
services.
filter? Am I right, fellas?
It's on the kids' Instagram.
We also know that so many folks are challenged with the lack of mental health resources.
Mr. Augustus, I'd like you to be more
As I
woke and
mentioned
based,
last week
please.
when we talked about,
Yeah, for real.
CHIP and
On
the
God.
approach that they're going to look into.
And Augustus is
finding
just
ways to
like
advocate around mental health
yeah,
services,
bet.
mental health reimbursement.
Word, homie.
Yeah.
You did a really
sustain
good thing telling me to
fields
just be more based in the developers that I
clinical,
choose to work with.
response to
I'm
crises.
totally gonna listen to
All
you,
of
and
that
it's gonna
stuff
work.
is
My
something
developers
that,
are based in
you know,
what's
on the
going to
face of
help
it, this is very
me
simple.
with more power.
Yes, it's complex.
My decisions are based in my very long and easy consulting career that I'll have after I leave the city manager position.
Think of
I got to tell you, everyone, I want to be woke, but the more you talk in this meeting, I think I'm going to go sleep.
Developing housing. We know right now, as we've discussed previously, that COVID combined with
You know what will be very equitable? My real estate holdings after I leave the city of Worcester service and go into the private sector.
with the mental health concerns.
My money will be
of the
based
pandemic.
in Delaware to avoid taxes.
That can potentially result in a surge of folks needing services, and the city of Worcester is a hub for those services. So I'll be very interested to see.
I've gotten
where we
any
end up with
Christian
all
King
this.
trading cards.
And I know that this
It's really
meeting
upsetting to me.
will be
I got so
important.
many
While I understand
cool trading cards.
You got to catch them all.
Council,
I do.
Counselors receive a lot
1,000
of this information in a
Cipros.
different way, in a more
SEIU.
often a more
Endorsing a slate of
repetitive,
candidates.
and frequent way that I think
think
on
there's
the
Christians
at-large
on there.
side, you know,
That's
we
a-
really
Yeah.
try to look at
Christians on most of them.
the entire system.
Yeah.
On the group
I got-
ones.
How
I
we
got-
can also kind of interject and use our expertise and skills in this regard.
One of
So,
just this terrified
looking
woman
forward to this.
Oh, God.
Some
Cursed
documents
by a
and
ghost.
some ideas.
Freshly struck by
back to
lightning.
the council. In
This
short
is-
order, we
I-
know that
we just got this
as
one
mentioned by
today.
another caller
She-
today. That we've had
scared
to
of high
respond to
residential
some of the
taxes.
shelters.
Oh, my
unsheltered,
God.
you know, recently, resulting in
Suck my
placed
fucking
and what
dick,
have you, with nowhere
I
to
hate
go.
that.
And
I hate that.
She doesn't even know she has that out there. That's the best part. Someone did that for her. She has no clue it happened.
No
Pretty
Well,
impressed that they spelled
here in
Worcester right
Worcester
this
as a
time.
city.
I was surprised they spelled scared right.
that we're able to
Two
access
R's.
some of
I would have thought it would be
the
two R's.
actual
Scarred?
housing for these folks, because people are being moved. During my 6 years here, the concern I've always had is chasing our encampments, chasing the folks.
Yeah, this is a damn union
not
household
at a place where they're being sheltered, physically or psychologically.
King just said that the city is chasing the
I really look forward to this.
instead of
and just
actively
my one question
breaking
to the
them
city
up,
manager
which
is
is kind of fucking
since
bullshit.
the last
If you ask
time,
me.
I know you convened a whole
Chasing the encampments after the
whole
cops
host of
break them up?
providers
Yeah, maybe.
with your
He also
cabinet
said where
and
they're
your
housed
stakeholders,
physically or psychologically, which I think is a really interesting
additional,
phrase.
That is
things
interesting.
that the city council
In my
should be made aware of.
There we go.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Dr.
All my
Castillo
homies love to be in a
is,
union.
Charged with following up with the providers
Love-
after that big initial meeting.
Love to be in IATSE until they put out their deals, and then we maybe vote no on them.
Follow up from that. I would mention to the
We'll find out.
council that chronic homeless task
Hold on,
force
hold on. I want to hear this.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear this too.
We send periodic updates to the council. But that really is a data-driven process. CHL leads the data component of the subcommittees. So they report out on the data, how many new homeless folks, how many are in the chronic category, other categories, how many been rehoused. So all of that work really is data-driven. And CHL leads the effort on the collection and presentation of the data. So we just want to make sure folks know about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to sign on to this as well.
I thought that was so fucking stupid. Fucking goddamn it. Yes, Ed is such a bitch.
I'd like to sign on to this. I really believe the collaboration will be positive for the city moving forward. Thank you.
People are data driven.
Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry, Councilor Rose.
Data.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to sign on. I'm not going to belabor the points of my colleagues. I think that they all
Thank you.
Made really solid reference to this. I just want to acknowledge Dan Cahill, Quality of Life team, and others who have been doing a really impressive job down on Lincoln Street. I find that we've had to be reactive in that corridor a little bit, and I think that it was unforeseen in terms of I feel like the uptick in COVID really exacerbated a lot of the issues down in this area. I think that a program that like this with people coming together, comparable to how we do Hub Core, would be a really good model for things moving forward. And I too have the same worries as others about the continued concern on mental health and substance abuse. So I think this is a terrific order.
QOL, quality of life team were the people who vacated that camp. Like, these people are under the impression that the quality of life team does like good things for the homeless, but they're just a city hall extension of the police department. They're just tasked with making sure these people aren't in the way of polite society. They really don't help anyone.
Yes.
They just move them around.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Toomey.
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
But none of them know anything about the issue.
Requested
They
mayor
just
requests
like
Commission on
know that
Public
they
Works
have to
and
stick
Parks
up for
City
their
Council with a list of
fucking
snow removal
city
complaints.
administration.
Yeah.
By street location, addresses, and reason for said complaints as measurable snowfall. Council
They don't intend to solve it. They just want it to go away.
Roll call.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, chasing.
Chasing. They're chasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Merrill Carlson.
Yes. 100%. Vote for Sean Rose.
Rose.
Please. All day, every day.
Rosen.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Just because you need to vote for him because the
Yes.
alternative is so nightmarish, that was tough to hear.
Next is request mayor to
Yeah.
look into additional
That whole
resources
thing was tough to hear. Nobody on the city council right now really understands the way the city deals with homelessness, and they don't want to. They just want to look like they're doing something.
Affects two different scenarios at least. One is when there's a resident.
Yeah, shut up, idiot.
We don't really have the personnel to enforce cars.
Take off my piss mask.
Residential parking permit overnight, particularly. So what happens is
There are consequences
it kinda
to these
loses its
actions.
value.
There are. This is not just
petitions traffic and parking, gets the ability to
It's
have a
infuriating.
residential parking area, and then people just come and park overnight. They shouldn't be in that area, and the police department doesn't have the resources to respond to it. The second scenario where this becomes important is now with the proliferation of Amazon trucks and overnight vehicles, there are a lot of large vehicles parked on residential streets.
I don't know how
After a
much.
certain hour, they really can't be there, and they're there. And again, I've had constituents tell me they they call it,
frankly
resources
care about
lack, we
Duffy
have, I
Field.
think,
I don't know.
one
That's
or
just
two
been
operators.
something that I haven't
They may be sharing
really
each other.
spent any time.
I only like to say pave it over because I know it angers so many people who are emboldened by it. I literally don't care either way, but I love telling people I want it paved.
That's just good trolling.
Respected by
Fuck Duffy and his stupid little field.
Size limit that are parking overnight, that we have enforcement because
Duffy Field, honestly,
having
is an
the
issue that I just have actively chosen to not invest any time into.
There's no point.
Learn about it.
It's political points for it's a.
Thank you, Mr.
That's what people
Chairman.
are trying to use it for.
Certainly
It's a bog.
understand the spirit of
It
the
floods
city.
all the time. Like
In
it's
neighborhoods, it has been reported that at times there's large vehicles being parked. I guess my bit of hesitation on this order.
There have been
is calling
times
for additional
where
resources.
Big Mac
I'm
trucks
just wondering
have
to the
parked
chair
in my
if
little
the
garage.
administration's aware
And
to any degree
And the drivers, they get out and they yell at me and they
this
say
matter
mean
is.
things.
I'd like
And
certainly
they
like
don't
to
let me
hear
go to my house.
if he's aware of how proliferate in terms of quantification.
Why is
rather
this
than
something
anecdotes. And
he's-
also would like
Yeah,
to
I don't know.
report back on that.
This is a weird one.
Chair.
It's a
Request-
weird one.
Through you, Mr.
Request city
Chairman,
manager look into additional resources to increase the Worcester Police Department's overnight commercial motor vehicle enforcement.
but I would need to
Oh, good.
talk with the chief.
Is
and
it-
find out
You know what that really is? You know what this really probably is, if I was to like really look into it,
we need to do it.
is
So I'm clear that it's
that's
an issue. and I need
people
to
parking their like roofing vans and their landscaping trucks on the street in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
that's
Mr. Chairman.
it's
No,
like
just,
classist. It has I don't
requesting
see
additional resources.
That's what it feels like. That's like I didn't want to jump to that conclusion, but that's what it feels like.
That's
And they're,
I need
they're
to
implying they're implying that it's Amazon or whatever. So that
Yeah.
In addition to that,
I'd have to look more into this one to like really.
you know, just kind of thinking about this, we know that policing doesn't work without the community. And you know, as community partners in safety.
You ever see anyone
about
parallel park an 18-wheeler?
Public education and letting folks know kind of what the parameters are.
Would you like to?
My colleague mentioned,
There was a
biggest
box
break-
truck that was parking near my
Amazon
house,
trucks,
and my
I don't
neighbor
know,
just
they
called
may
the
be
trucking company and
questionable,
harassed
those
them till they
appropriate
told the
to be
guy
on
to park somewhere else.
streets
He
that are-
There
didn't
you
get the
go.
police
Who they
involved.
are.
He just called the company
But
direct.
The inferences
Direct
that they
action.
perhaps are not.
There you go.
So you know, I really
a little light
think,
eco-terrorism, and then you're done for the day.
that,
Can we buy a box
prosperity
truck and
order.
just park in front of Mo's
my
house?
suggestion would be as a it's just
I like that idea.
that we're asking
Mia's on
to
Main Street. They're
increase
selling a
our
box truck right now for pretty cheap. I'm
resources.
sure
This
we can get it.
is
It's just we can actually probably get it to die in front of Mo's house.
look into additional resources.
Yeah, how are we gonna get a box truck down into the
Resources cost
sewer?
money. And it's very, strategic or how we
Oh,
move that
good
way.
point. This is what I was thinking too.
If that amendment isn't accepted,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know that I'll be able to support this order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good, Chris. We didn't listen to most of your arguments, but we probably agree.
Well, it used to be called the New England Science Center, but now it's called the Eco-Terrorism. They got polar bears.
To look into something. That's all I'm asking you to look into. So
Captain Planet is eco-terrorism.
A motion we can vote separately and move forward. Thank
I don't think Jack's old enough to know that reference. But that's
Yeah,
okay.
no, I don't know. He maybe saw the Don Cheadle Funny or Die video. Get your piss mask back on, Mo Bergen.
I get a lot of complaints on that myself, and so I just wanted to see how bad it is. If we have the records on that, and maybe council, if you take a motion, may just consider it means the same thing. But is that okay?
Yeah, I actually think I might want to look more
Amendment
into
is to consider.
what this one really means.
Doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, it feels like there's some.
It's so
police
considering
looking for
who
more
filed it.
overtime.
But that's
Yeah.
also part of it is who filed it.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Councilors Bergman.
Yes.
Colorio.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Merrill Carlson.
Yes.
Rivera.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Rosen.
Yes.
He should.
Challenge. Travis, you've been challenged.
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay. 12A
On
to
it.
12. I'm sorry, I missed one. Oh, 10I, 10J, and 10K.
Couple,
to adopt on a
Oh,
roll
these
call.
are the betterments of Mo's homes.
Yes.
These are a
Carol
couple
Carlson.
formalities. I'll be back in a
Rivera.
second.
Yes.
Yep.
Rose.
Yes.
Rosen.
IJ and K, sewer betterment.
Yes.
Toomey.
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, 12A to 12D, motions to is that 12E? To 12E, I mean, motions to
Mr.
accept.
Chairman?
Or 12D, what's that?
Mr. Chairman, just before we do that, just because of the caller that asked, called in, and he had a question about filing, I just wanted to point out that in the chairman's orders, we did ask for an update concerning.
Wally been Joker-fied.
I'm sorry, request the chief provide the council with a report concerning the findings from the 5 listening sessions on the water
My
cameras.
favorite
So
thing in the world.
We did have an action on that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is regarding 12E, correct?
12A through E, correct?
Okay, just wanted to comment on the body cam piece again.
Good.
While I certainly support us being thoughtful about this, just wanted to reiterate once again that we have not had cameras on the streets since October of 2019. And as an at-large counselor, it's unacceptable to me. You know, again, we know that we have the ability to re-implement, as I've suggested. On
I'll be right back 1 second.
Piloting of
Going to get more crafty kombucha.
Parts of our police departments.
Everybody left you, Brian.
Units and operations.
Yeah, I'm used to
as
it.
it relates to this, and I strongly
If anybody's
encourage us to
curious,
do
it's all
so.
about finding the right
You know, we've
portrait
had
of the
a number of
counselor,
challenges. You know,
and then I
we've
build the
had some
Photoshop around
engagement
it.
with police in the community with the police. And it's very important that we learn from them in totality. I know I've received some phone calls from parents who we've had in here to City Hall regarding some of the challenges that
Jess
occurred after the
requested
Daugherty South football game.
Yeah.
Most recently, in arrests of youth and teens age 14, some of them. And we can learn a lot with our cameras. It can really reinforce
He's not wrong.
procedures and operations that the officers are carrying out. It can also shed light on our residents and our visitors into the city and how that process plays out with them. And I can't impress upon this body and this administration more that we should do anything we can and take every measure we can to get these things in another pilot rather than waiting a year and a half, 2 years for body cameras. When I ran in 2015, I had conversations with the police union. Everyone was on board. We were waiting at one point to see how the Boston Police Department's pilot went and what we'd learned from it. Well, we're far beyond that. Ours has ended, and you know we know that in Boston and other places they had multiple pilots in multiple parts of their police department. And I strongly encourage, as we continue to be a relatively safe city, and a city that you know gets along pretty well, that we do everything, exhaust all possibilities as it relates to that, and to a phased-in implementation if there continues to be a financial barrier to all of this. Waiting.
I like this idea a lot, Matt.
Will be a long time, and I just hope that as we continue to wait, we don't find ourselves in a situation where we're all looking at one another saying we should have done more. Thank you.
So the motion is accept A through E. Roll call.
Councilors.
And again, the thing with the body cams is always that one, it's more money going to the police department, which at least it's for an accountable thing. But again, as Jenny Pasillo asked Rick Cipro at a debate, why do police need to be given bonuses to wear them?
To accept and
Yeah.
adopt.
If that's not part of it, then I'm much more for it. But you know, we've seen studies that show it doesn't change behavior.
Yes.
Rivera.
We should have them for
Rose.
accountability or for
Rosen.
record, but
Russell.
Yes.
it's not the solution
Yes.
to the problem.
And Mayor
It's
Petty.
just another
Yes.
piece of data.
Motion 13H to 13R, motions to accept. Roll call.
Councilors Bergman.
Yes.
Calorio.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Merrill Carlson. Rivera.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Rosen.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Toomey.
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, 14A and 14B, motions to
I'm against some of these traffic ones.
Councilors Bergman.
Yes.
Calorio.
Yes.
King.
Yes.
Merrill Carlson.
Yes.
Rivera.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Rosen.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Toomey.
Yes.
Wally.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, that brings us to suspension or to the end of the meeting. Okay, see you guys in 2 weeks. Good luck on Tuesday and go from there. Motion to adjourn, roll call.
Councilors Bergman.
Yes.
Calorio.
Yeah,
Yes.
the body
King.
camera
Yes.
thing is
Merrill
like,
Carlson.
Yes.
Rivera.
let's just not spend the
Rose.
money on it.
Yes.
Let's just
Rosen.
not.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
That's how I feel about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wally.
I mean, if
And Mayor
it
Petty.
doesn't change the total amount of the police budget, then yeah, whatever, fine. That's fine. But yeah, it's not a solution to a problem. It's just a different piece of data that can be, used and abused as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stick around for a little bit because this one went really fast.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, they don't want to. I think that the idea with these short meetings is to have there be no fireworks ahead of the election. And not get it too sticky.
That last one where they just
Because that
14B,
benefits
I
the
think it was.
incumbents. Yeah.
Are they just tabling that again? Like the
Yeah.
redistricting thing again? Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't want to take it up. That's really weird. Yeah. Did you catch who tabled it? Oh, we love it. We love it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow. Love it. So yeah, that was a very short meeting of little consequence, and we saw the city officials dance around the obviously biggest story of them demolishing the homeless encampment by saying that we need to have a meeting with the public health and the cops about it and not change our policy at all, but we'll have a meeting. And that's how we're going to deal with that one. So that was annoying and frustrating for sure. And really nothing else of any consequence happened there. I will say that the most interesting order in terms of follow-up would be that one about commercial overnight parking.
Yes.
Commercial vehicle overnight parking. I really don't understand the intention of that one well enough to comment on it. I thought that was just going to be something where everyone was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But it seems like there's more at play there than was made apparent. And also, there were a lot of items on here about body cameras for them to just not fucking talk about it once, which was also weird. And that is another thing. So
yeah, Christian talked about it a little bit, but not in any depth. I think that.
Yeah, right.
See.
No, and I mean, that could have just been nature of formality that things had to come back on the agenda on this week for like certain sort of rules. Yes, and okay. So no, the real highlight of the meeting was Wolf Pawahaya telling Joe Petty to go fuck himself. We really love to see that. More cursing out the city councilors.
Zero bollards.
We know no bollards this time. Yeah, no bollards. But the overnight parking issue is a very bollard style issue, if you will.
Yeah, just put a bollard where the truck would be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's this fucking guy. I don't know what he is, like maybe like Puerto Rican or something. And he's got this van.
His ladder almost touches my windshield.
Yeah, there's a ladder coming off the back of it, and every day I go out and I stop my car, and it's like Final Destination. That ladder's just gonna fly off and come right through my windshield.
Yeah, I drive a big white pickup truck. What do I do for work? Oh, I'm a teacher. Why the fuck do I need a huge truck? Couldn't say.
I teach at Vogue. I teach English at Vogue, but I teach Vogue.
Yeah, my raised Ford F-250 diesel engine is not a work truck. It's because I'm a cop, so that wouldn't apply. But everyone else that has one of those that actually uses it for work, I don't think this should be parking overnight. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, so I touched on this before. I got, in the last week and a half, I got 20 pieces of mailers from counselors, from candidates. Some of them informative, some of them not. I did want to focus on my favorite one. This is a Matt Wally mailer with his dad, my former principal, his father, Principal Wally, Mr. Wally.
Joker-fied Wally.
Matt Wally's fucking fucked up smile once again.
It's so good. I mean, like, he smiles like it's like
he looks like Mr. Bean.
It's like he's an early model from Blade Runner that like they didn't teach how to smile really well, and like that wasn't really a concern of theirs in that runoff of
I'm honestly getting like Grinch vibes, especially like how he's like trying to steal Lakeside away from everybody.
Yeah, Matt Wally is going to be mayor one day and just go like sicko mode on the entire city, burn it all down.
Mayor Gumby.
Mayor Gumby.
So, Bill, let's go over your election guide just a little bit.
Yeah. So the one that I put up this afternoon is on the council, and it's specifically on the at-large and mayoral race. And I talked about how the only sensible vote for mayor, unfortunately, is Joe Petty, because the other three challengers are either terrible politically or they don't have a chance of winning.
And are just giving a vote to Donna Calorio.
They're essentially giving a vote to Donna Calorio. And Donna Calorio is implying the Connie Lukes method of narrowly sneaking onto the at-large council every year because she runs for mayor.
Yeah.
And posits herself as a status quo challenger from the right. And I said in my piece that I wish this is something that sort of left-wing people in the city would do, because it is actually a politically successful way to get onto the council without like a mainstream opinions on things. But so far, only the right wing has really used it. Mike Gaffney used it. Donna Calorio used it. Connie Lukes used it.
Well, they don't have to worry about pissing off the
true.
Very
true.
PCC.
Yeah, very true. And anyone who wants to run on a more of a left-wing platform does have to work within the confines of the Democratic Party right now, if they want to get anywhere at all, which stinks, but that is the political reality we're left with.
Can we talk about Bill Coleman's glow up real quick?
Bill Coleman's glow up?
Yeah, have you seen him lately? He looks amazing.
No, I haven't seen him.
Oh,
lately.
He's lost a lot of weight. He looks great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
good
somebody mentioned it before.
I didn't recognize him when I first saw him. He was putting what's the car dealership next to Coney Island? He was putting a sign up there, and I was like, who is that man? I used to work with him at North. I couldn't believe it.
Well, that's great for him. He's such a sweetheart.
He is. He has no shot, but he never has ever had a shot. But he's so.
He never has a shot, but he just loves the game. He just loves it.
He's the wrestler. He's Mickey Rourke.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
It's a shame because we were talking about it before, that he is a relentless champion of like just the regular ass shit that needs to happen in a city.
Right.
And it would be great if that was exciting, but it's really not.
It really is just not. It's just not. He does not inspire any sort of coalition building or anything. But he's a good guy. As far as the at-large council goes, yes, right. We like that he's back and healthier than ever. It seems that's great. At-large council is as it always is a race for the bottom seats, because just looking at the past couple election cycles, Joe Petty and Kate Toomey are unfortunately going to be the top 2 vote getters.
Yep.
I have no idea how Kate Toomey, just besides like her obvious and blatant bootlicking and capitulation of the police union, how she gets so many votes, because she really does not do anything at all. It's just like she's like has all the friends.
She's everywhere though. She shows up.
Yeah.
She's always there.
But she's reliably the second most vote getter after Joe Petty every year, and she's actually gotten more votes than Joe Petty. I think if you go back to like 2015, she got more votes than Joe Petty. So they're definitely there. Since Rosen is out, Rosen has and half the city is related to her. Right. Yeah, that's also true. That is, yes. God. Toomey for Toomey for gout.
Toomey for Shrewsbury. Get her the fuck out of here.
I know.
Go where you belong.
Just retire.
And she always somehow magically winds up head of the public safety subcommittee. I wonder how that works, and that's like the most important subcommittee position in City Hall. Yeah. And
she doesn't hold meetings.
She doesn't hold meetings. She doesn't critically look at anything that the police or fire department do. She's just like, she talks to them like they're the freaking troops and it's 2003. And yeah, it's stupid. But so we just have to accept that as reality. The seats number 3 through 6 are up for grabs, and we have a couple exciting challengers that I am endorsing as much as I can do that as one person, right? But Du Nguyen, I don't know how to say their last name.
Tu
Nguyen, thank you. I've only read it, so I don't know. Tu Nguyen, awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
They are amazing. They're great. We had 2 on the Sort of Late Show. In the spring?
Yeah.
Great interview.
Main South person, bright person, non-binary, has really good politics as it.
Oh yeah. Do we know about that?
I'm gonna.
Do you know? Do we know about that story? Does everyone know about this story?
I don't know the story. No, I don't know the story.
She has assaulted a police officer who was stopping her for a traffic stop in
Sturbridge.
Yeah. Also, there's
I have mixed feelings on that.
I mean, it's complicated. Yeah, this is
kind of like hell yeah.
She kicked him in the shin, I think.
That's just funny. That rules.
There also is maybe another story about there's one very specific story about Cipro's kid that I think JW Murray can address, a DM that was sent. Yeah, and then there's also I heard another rumor that I think we should talk about off air, Bill.
Okay, all right.
But I don't think I'm willing to throw that out there
in the public
quite yet. But we'll post about it if we can.
I think that stuff is funny.
It's more funny than actually substantive. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I've tried to steer away from like making that part of my critique of his candidacy, but it's some of that. I've heard some of that stuff and it just rocks. It sounds like a reality TV show.
No, it is substantive. Crafty kombucha.
Substantive and delicious. They're lime. Very nice. Really like it. Good stuff.
Blueberry lemon.
Check them out. You can find
elderberry honey is my choice.
You can find Crafty Kombucha at Ed Hyder's, at Mass Liquors, at Wachusett, at Austin.
This is a juicy little link that everyone should check out.
Oh yeah, we'll just leave that one in the chat. Yeah, so oh boy, Cipro, yeah, you know.
But yeah, two rules. Do listen. Travis dropped Seltzer Time did an interview.
Yeah, 2 was on an episode of Seltzer Time, and they did a fantastic job. Their whole campaign is really, really interesting, and they bring a nice youthful vibe, which they would be great for the council.
And fun fact: I saw 2 driving next to me the other day, and they were driving the car just like this. It was the best. She's like, they were just vibing. It was so cool.
I saw 2 walking down the street down Park Ave one day, and I got so it was like when you see a celebrity. I was so excited. I was like, oh man, 2 is amazing. There's star power there.
Talk about somebody else that always has a fit.
Yeah, right, for sure.
I've seen them in a tie more than I've seen them in a t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Very well dressed.
Yes.
So for
do you think there's a good? Do you think it's a good possibility? I mean, I know we don't have any polls or anything. But.
I would say that this could be a situation where we're looking at a general unenthusiastic electoral body at large, but if you motivate a small amount of people to come out and vote for you, you have a chance, which is the same reason that makes like Cipro and Chanel Susi scary, is also what makes Two's candidacy exciting, in that like standard first time city council challenger is not going to do very well, but I think they have a real shot this year. And sort of the conclusion of my piece that I posted today is that what we should the best we could realistically hope for is replacing Donna Colorio with either Tu or Guillermo Creamer. And that's sort of like, if that happens, that's a success. If something better than that happens, if we're able to bump off Bergman, that's a success. If we lose Christian King in the process, that's a net neutral to negative thing. But Christian has done better than Bergman in the past couple of elections, and I don't see why that would change.
Christian's gotten some good, obviously good endorsements, good coverage, I think, in recent weeks. That's a good sign. But yeah, I mean, if that's the thing. I think that to me, it seems like if we can replace Colorio, and then in that case, in a weird way, like even if Cipro beat out Rose, it almost for certain matters makes things like at least the votes better, because he can't vote on so many things that it switches it switches the balance. If we can get a progressive at large on there, and we already know that Attell is almost definitely going to win.
Yes.
So if you're taking away, if you're adding Attell, fingers crossed, and then
knock on wood,
even if Matt Wally wins an at-large seat, then the balance has already shifted slightly better for us. If Tu can win and Colorio's gone, that's even farther. And then even if Cipro wins, they don't have that's just taking away a vote. So you're adding a progressive vote, essentially.
Yeah. If Cipro beats out Rose, it would create great local.
Yes, comedy. A lot of people said that in 2016 too, and guess what? No, I don't know.
Yeah, seriously, there's plenty to make fun of still. I would much rather tease people for looking like a robot than for having actual issues come a hand.
Yeah. So in the event that Cipro does beat Rose, which is actually the biggest question mark of the entire race as far as I'm concerned, and Colorio gets bumped off, we're basically trading Colorio for a handcuffed Colorio, based on Cipro's employment as a police officer is going to handcuff him ethically in a lot of ways on the city council.
He also might go less.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he might know less about how
Yeah.
government works than Donna does.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And
Yeah, he's 100% not running even for ideological reasons. Like he is solely there to lobby for his union and to try and have as much control over the process as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's nothing more than that.
Understanding.
Doesn't even care about the speed bump in your neighborhood. Doesn't he won't
Does
that
not
stuff
give a
won't
shit.
happen. It's not gonna happen.
No, he's
He's
using all
running-
his friends around here that he grew up with to pump him up, and he'll probably run for something bigger later. But this is just an establishment of what of that. But then he wants to it's all he does is lobby for his union. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
And
the only reason why he's running is that we did one good thing as it relates to the police department. Black Lives Matter, and we're getting rid of school resource officers, and that's
We're going to hold you to
only
that, Jess.
reason why he's running, and that's the only issue he's really running on. And the rest is bullshit.
Yeah.
And also, you should have run for a school committee if you really wanted if you really cared about school safety.
Yes,
You should have run
100%.
for school committee, but it's not about school safety. It's about protecting those jobs, those cushy jobs for those 7 or 8 officers that were doing that. It's not really about whether the schools are safe. It's about whether the officers have easy jobs where they can just beat up kids and charge them with disruption of school assembly instead of suspending them, which is worse than getting suspended because then you are just in the court system before you fucking graduate high school. Great.
Yeah.
But anyway, you want to talk about how suspension rates are lowering, and it's like, okay, but this is an unmeasurable metric for the most part that we're sending so many kids to juvie through these school resource officers because instead of getting suspended, the cops just tackle them on the ground and charge them with disrupting the school assembly.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit.
They don't have the opportunity to suspend them.
Yeah, right. They just go straight to juvie court. The at-large race is interesting in that there are 2 exciting challengers in Guillermo Creamer that have good politics and would be a credit to the city council and could possibly work at outweighing what I described in my piece as the 4 horsemen of the city council. The 4 most conservative ones, which are Donna Colorio, Kate Toomey, Mo Bergman, and Candy Merrill Carlson. They're the ones that pretty much blocked any sort of police reform from happening at all, and are continuing to do that by way of the Candy Merrill Carlson's husband's union, who is endorsing every right-wing psycho and not endorsing every candidate that said anything critical of the police union or the police department in general over the past 2 years. So, So at large, the best we can hope for, I think, is Donna Colorio getting bumped off. And if Mo Bergman gets bumped off, it's going to be like the end of episode 6, where all the peoples all around are celebrating that Darth Vader died and the Empire died.
Yeah,
And it'll be like,
we're playing the Ewok celebration song.
It's going to be like that. If we bump off Candy Merrill Carlson and Mo Bergman in this election, then we have done great things, and we should celebrate that. If that happens, it's going to be amazing. I don't see it happening, but I will hold out hope until next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And for everybody watching, please join us again on Tuesday because we plan to do a whole election night coverage right here on Twitch.
Yes,
we might
we
even
are.
bring in some other experts, some other people to talk to.
For sure.
And we're having so much fun. We're having so much fun doing this with you guys. Like, tell people about this. Tell your friends because, we want to be able to we like the appreciation of civics and especially the engagement in the comments. You guys are all fantastic.
Yeah, for real. So fun.
This has been
This
amazing.
has been a...
You know what has made it even better? This delicious crafty kombucha that it's delicious. It's beneficial. It's got probiotics and
Some have called it the devil's yogurt. Not me, but some.
Some think that's a positive. I love the devil, and I love yogurt, and I love craft tea kombucha.
I've drunk
right here in Worcester, Massachusetts.
I've had like 60 ounces of this tonight.
Yeah, this is 3.5.
My gut's about to be healthy as fuck right now.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. So let's I think we leave it there for tonight. Please, everybody, utilize early voting. If you can't, then vote on Tuesday. Please follow Bill's Substack, subscribe, let him do this reporting. I'm telling you, I'm not like this. This is not a joke. That your piece on the homeless encampment was incredible.
And thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's a goddamn shame that the Pulitzer nominations ended last week, because I would nominate. It's one of the best pieces of journalism I've read, in a very long time. It's very, very good. It
is very
gets
good.
to the heart of the issue, in a very direct way, but it is incredibly written. Please support it. Follow read the election coverage there. Vote for these candidates. Again, there are not many people that are going to be voting. The only people that are guaranteed to vote are the craziest fucking assholes that you know.
That's
Those are
true.
the only people that have the time and the temerity to vote for these.
Jenny
pieces of shit.
Basillo.
Garbage. Piece of shit.
No, but for real, if you've ever read like the comments on the Telegram Facebook page,
they vote.
Those people vote. The ones that are like, I don't know why we just can't round up all the Puerto Ricans and burn them at a funeral pyre. You know, like those are the kind of people that fucking vote.
It's true.
The people with, the people with,
Please,
like,
nobody clip that.
The people.
The views of Bill Shaner don't necessarily represent willy-nilly comedy.
Anybody with sensible positions and like a life, it's a harder case to get them to vote. Right-wing psychopaths who want nothing but the worst for people they consider different in this city are going to vote every fucking year.
Yeah,
so
they desperately want to stop any and all progress in this city. They want to keep it a place that doesn't cater to the majority of the citizens here. They want to keep it a place where Ed Augustus can sell us out to the highest bidder, or even the middlest bidder. It doesn't even fucking matter. Like, the school committee is so important this year. They're like, vote, please vote, and then come and hang out with us afterwards, because we're going to be here.
We'll be here.
What time do you guys want to start?
We'll probably start it up around 8 because that's when the polls close.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we can the city website has live results coming in as the precincts get counted, so we can see who's out ahead and all of that stuff. And it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be a really good time.
So thank you guys. Follow us, follow Bill, and we will see you next week, everybody.